you're maybe putting some cash reserves away and what have you. But too many mistakes that many make is you also spend it, as you need to have plenty of reserves.
Marco Torres, co-owner of Book VIP and co-founder of MarketingBoost.com,
a platform that has assisted thousands of business owners worldwide in boosting sales and scaling their businesses through incentive-based marketing strategies.
As you build a successful business, that's when you want to build reserves, have a relationship with the bankers, get a credit line set up in advance. You don't think you need it when things are rolling good.
I think that a lot of businesses have this problem where it takes too much time to educate the prospect so that they see that there's nothing to lose. How are you communicating this and taking on new clients right now?
Good point. The amazing thing is
the Content Capitalist Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Content Capitalist Podcast. Today I've got a guest with me who I met through a podcasting network, but the more I searched about who he is, the more I realized that that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just one of the many things he's doing. And a couple of things right here on his Facebook page. It says he's the co-founder of MarketingBoost, co-founder of bookvip.com. But the thing that really caught my attention, and Marco, I'll let you elaborate on this in a second, is he says, I help business owners boost sales with travel incentives. That sounds really unique and interesting. Marco, welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, we do some unique things, I'll have to say.
Great. Could you get us started by giving us like a 30-second to 1 minute overview of what kind of people you help and where do you take them from and to?
Sure. So we serve mostly small business owners, a lot of solopreneurs, entrepreneurs of all kinds. Most of them have less than 10 employees. Some are much bigger, but the majority are small startup, or not necessarily startups, but small businesses. And we serve them by providing them what I call the wow, surprise, and delight factor. We give them access to travel incentives, complimentary hotel stays in over 130 destinations around the world, from 3 to 7 night stays. We also provide restaurant savings vouchers and hotel savings cards. So 3 different categories of incentives. And we teach our community of entrepreneurs that subscribe to our service. It's a monthly subscription fee, and they get access to these incentives. And we teach them how to use these incentives to add value to whatever their call to action is versus discounting, for example, and or to stand out from the crowd, to be to use our incentives, at a trade show, to use them to stand out from everybody else in the crowd there and be acquiring as a customer draw card. We teach business owners how to use these incentives to enhance whatever their lead magnet might be. People are kind of trigger shy. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold here, but people are sometimes trigger shy at filling out, the name, phone number, email to download your PDF or your lead magnet. And so if you add one of our incentives to that bonus, hey, you download our PDF and we'll give you a $50 restaurant savings card, good in your zip code, and that kind of thing. These we really helped hundreds of really thousands of business owners that use our service increase their lead flow, convert leads to sales, and whatnot.
That sounds really interesting. And already, just the way you described it makes me interested to find out more and see if that's something I could use. I live in Japan, but most of my business comes from the US. And I suppose that these services are US restricted, or is it global?
Good question. We're global, actually. For example, we have... with our complimentary hotel stays, we now offer 130 different destinations around the globe. So, Ken, if you were offering people we have getaways in Singapore, in the Philippines, in Japan, I believe is one of our destinations. And so you can be offering, and then our hotel savings cards, for example, are good at over 1 million hotels worldwide. And they come in increments of $100, $200, $300, and $500. And they work kind of like a gift card, but they don't pay for the entire hotel stay. They discount compared to, the retailers, Expedias and what have you. But your client, whoever you gave that incentive to, that complimentary, for example, that $500 hotel savings card, they can go shop online and book a hotel and save compared to the Expedias of the world. And then the restaurant vouchers, however, they are only available in the USA and Canada. So, but if your clients are in the USA, you could be rewarding them with a restaurant savings voucher, for example.
Now, is this a concept that you thought up and started this business on yourself?
Yeah, we surely did. And the way it came about, Ken, I think one of the subjects you like to talk about is how do you use video content to build your business? And that is really how Marketing Boost came about. It came about by accident. So the story is really pretty cool. Do you mind if I share it?
Let's go.
Let's go. So here's how my partners and I were in the travel space building the company you mentioned, bookvip.com, which was one of the fastest growing travel sites in North America at the time back in 2010, 11, and 12. And we were growing really quick, but we wanted video reviews. We were struggling our head thinking, how could we get our clients to give us, you know, uh, video testimonials of the hotels we were selling? And we would ask them, but we couldn't get anybody to do it. So we came up with an idea that we knew would be expensive, but we wanted those video reviews so we could leverage them all over our website, all over our Facebook pages and our YouTube channel, etc. So we offered our clients, and we did this in a format, Ken, that still works today. And I recommend this to anybody. We would do a survey with our clients the day after they checked into the hotel. So when we felt they would be at their peak of happiness. So instead of asking everybody for a review, we would first do a survey and send them an email and a text message saying, "Hey, how's the hotel living up to your expectation that you just checked into? And how is our service so far? Would you give us a star ranking, from 1 to 5?" And if they gave us a 4 or 5, then we would immediately send them back a message saying, "Great, we're thrilled you're enjoying the hotel that you're staying at. Would you do us a huge favor and help us spread the word about that hotel brand and our brand? And if you would go that extra mile and film a selfie testimonial from with you bragging about the hotel and bragging about at the pool or the bar or the restaurant or the beach or whatever, we'll reward you with a bonus trip, a bonus complimentary getaway, 3 nights in Orlando or Las Vegas." And boom, we started getting
That's a
in.
slam dunk. That's a
Slam
slam
dunk.
dunk. Like
So
it's got
we
to be at
started
least
getting it. Yeah,
90%, right?
exactly. We started getting dozens and dozens of these video testimonials coming in, which immediately worked. We were leveraging them all over our website and generating hundreds of new, transactions. But then we had to turn the campaign off because it was like when these people raised their hands, "Hey, give me that free trip you promised." We had to dig into our pockets to pay for those hotel rooms we were giving away, which was expensive. So then we
So
we thought about it.
the amount of
Go.
bonus they're getting, like let's say that you give them a $100 voucher or something, right? Or is that, or were you not at that stage yet?
No, we weren't. What we were doing
Okay.
at that
So
time was
you're covering everything.
covering everything. 3 night stay on us if you gave us the video testimonial. Well, obviously that worked. We had dozens and dozens and hundreds of these reviews coming in. So we turned it off because this is going to be expensive. But then we thought, how could we keep this going? So we went back to our hotel partners. We had relationships with these big hotels. We went back to them and said, "Listen, you've got a problem and we've come up with a way we think we can help you solve it. Let's be honest, your hotel is not full year round. You certainly sell out on certain weekends. You sell out for certain special events, peak seasons, but 70% of the year, you've got what, 20, 30, 40, 50% of your rooms sitting empty. Yet you still have the same fixed costs. You've got the mortgage payments, front desk staff, maintenance crews. And the only thing different you add when somebody checks in is the cleaning ladies. Other than that, your costs are pretty fixed." So they agreed, and we said, we can put warm bodies in those rooms. If you give us access to that unsold inventory, we can put in a closed environment where it's not opened on the internet. We're going to put warm bodies in these rooms that will hopefully more than likely spend money at the restaurant, the bar, the casino, the gift shop, the excursion desk. They'll book extra nights. They'll upgrade room types. They'll order room service. And so we got a few hotels to agree to participate in Orlando and Vegas. And now we were able to go back to giving away the free trips in exchange for video reviews. By the way, that website today has over 30,000 video testimonials from happy travelers from around the world, more than any other travel website in the world. So the video content, the user-generated content, was massively successful for us in generating additional sales. But then,
I
okay,
love
now we
that.
thought right. So
But
then we thought,
let
Ken,
me
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, were they eating the cost, or were you actually having to pay for those empty rooms?
No, we were getting the rooms for either nothing or next to nothing. As long as the client paid the
Amazing.
government taxes, the client had to pay the government taxes and fees at check-in, because the governments don't get free rooms. They don't understand that. So when somebody checks in, they're expecting to get paid the local tourism taxes and so on. And so the way we worked it out was, we could give, or we either got them for free or next to free, very, very low rates. And so then we thought to ourselves, what could we, if we could only get more hotels to participate around the world, we'd have another standalone business. And so that's what we set out to do. And originally we launched in 2017 with 6 destinations, and with complimentary hotel stays at a few hotels in 6 different destinations. And today we've grown that into 130 destinations with hundreds of participating hotels. And they don't include airfare, of course. They don't include food and beverage, and they don't include government taxes and fees. So, and the other thing we did, so once you activate the certificate by paying the government taxes and fees, which typically the client does, not the Marketing Boost member. We teach our Marketing Boost members to just disclose that. When you give somebody the free trip, disclose, hey, I'm going to give you a 3-night stay in Singapore on me. It won't include how you get there. It doesn't include airfare. It doesn't include food and beverage or government taxes and fees. And that's a disclaimer. And then you can, add that high perceived value incentive certificate to your call to action.
That sounds amazing. Uh, so what's the business model? Are you offering this to like a B2B incentive, which I think you are? Could you walk us through that, how that works if I were to sign up as a customer?
Correct. So our product is offered to business owners, or podcasters, or we've got all kinds of entrepreneurs, from everything from a lemonade stand up in New York to car dealerships in Chicago to multi-level marketers around the world. You name it, online retailers. And so they're paying us a subscription, which, by the way, it's only $37 a month to be a member of Marketing Boost. 37 US dollars a month. And that gives you access to all 3 categories of our incentives, unlimited, that you can use in your marketing campaigns to give away to your clients. So you can, choose the campaign. I'm going to do a campaign with 3 nights in the Philippines and Boracay, or I'm going to do a 3-night, getaway in Singapore, or 7 nights in Thailand. And you can create these campaigns and have them, with your call to action. So you pay $37 a month. We make money on that, obviously. And we also own the travel company that fulfills the travel certificates. So when your client is traveling, Ken, they're going through our portal, which is called redeemvacations.com. And that way your client does not hear or know about Marketing Boost. We never tell your client about Marketing Boost that this only cost you $37 a month. Your client goes to redeemvacations.com. That's where they activate the certificate. That's where they go and put in their preferred travel dates. They see the hotels that are available, and they can click it, book it, and get instant confirmation. So it's again, in that enclosed environment, that the only people getting these certificates were offered it by earning it by doing something from some business owner somewhere that gave them the certificate for doing some call to action, such as buying their product, paying. For example, here's a way, Ken, a lot of people use Marketing Boost incentives. Let's say you're a business coach and somebody hires you. You might say, hey, if you pay for 6 months in advance, I'm going to reward you with your choice of a getaway, 3 nights in either Orlando, Las Vegas, Branson, Missouri, Cancun, Mexico, etc. And so you can create a scarcity and urgency to get folks to take a bigger call to action than they might normally would do. If they take action, hey, we've got this promo this week. If you go ahead and pay in full instead of a monthly payment plan, we'll throw in this bonus getaway. If you join, others use the smaller incentives, like, hey, book a no obligation Zoom call with my sales team, and just for booking and attending and showing up on time, we're going to reward you with a $300 hotel savings card, good for your next hotel getaway at over 1 million hotels worldwide. just for showing up on time for your appointment. And that helps book more appointments and eliminate no-shows. So that type of thing is it's a home run for a lot of people.
And each time your clients offer this and it gets redeemed by their the person they give it to, how much is that costing the client?
$37 a month.
So it's unlimited. I could give away 1,000 of these and it would still be $37 a month.
That's correct. And although
Okay. What's the risk
we
though?
make money on the back end as well. We're the travel company that fulfills the travel. So when they travel, we're offering upgrades ourselves. We're helping them make sure they book extra nights for the hotel to earn some money. We're helping them, upgrading room types if they want to. All of this is optional. We're offering excursions and what have you as well on the back end on redeemvacations.com. So we're helping the client and we're fulfilling the travel where we make money on the back end of that as well. So we make money on the back end and we make money on the subscription model of those that are paying us the $37 a month. So it's a
Sounds really
win-win-win.
good.
It's a win-win-win for everybody involved. It's a win
But there
for
are
the
like
marketing.
limit.
Go ahead.
But there must be quite some limitations on like where I mean which locations and also which dates, right? Like there's got to be some kind of like the low season or things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Ken. So because we're helping hotels fill rooms that would otherwise go empty, then in each destination, we average about 32 weeks out of 52 weeks of availability. So there's not going to be Christmas week available, Easter week. There's not going to, if there's a special event
Around the
at that
holidays, pretty
hotel.
much.
Yeah. So the holidays around the world will vary in different destinations, but those holidays are likely not going to be available. And, so that kind of thing.
You know what's really interesting about this? Is there anything against me redeeming it myself for my family, my team members, and things like that?
Great question as well. And we do allow our members to use one for yourself to test the program out. So pick a great destination and use it yourself. You can give it to staff. You can give them to vendors and clients and whoever you want to reward for doing business with you. There is a limitation of you, for example, as you sign up your business, Ken, you get to use one. And however, you can give your clients up to one every 12 months. So we do restrict our members because the hotel partners that we deal with, they've allowed us to let our members give their clients one every year as long as they're using a different destination, but they do not want to be a part of a free trip travel club. So the hotel partners, they're in business to make money.
They want new customers.
Exactly. They want new blood just like the rest of us do in business, right? We want new customers. So they don't want to see, you, Ken, using this thing and traveling every month to a different, and staying for free and like what's in it for them. So
I just got to keep changing my name and ID, right? Then...
Well, there's always some way to try to beat the system. That's true. But it's kind of an honor system there. And we
of course,
there are people that no doubt that try to beat the system saying, okay, I'll put it. My wife, she kept her, she's got a different last name. We'll beat the system this way, that way. But at the end of the day,
but you can blacklist somebody if they're obviously being, unethical in their dealings.
Exactly. We have a lot of ways to catch it and snag. And the other rule there's a few rules that are, you say restrictions. For example, there's a minimum a 14 days advance booking notice required in some of our destinations. The majority of them are 30 days advance notice required. So they won't be able to get a certificate and travel tomorrow night. Now, on the hotel savings cards, those can be used with there's no restrictions whatsoever on the hotel savings cards. On the complimentary hotel stays, they have that 30-day advance notice, no group travel. So they can't be used, for example, I'm going to use these for my business. I'm going to put on a convention and I'm going to invite, excuse me, I'm going to invite all of my organization to join me in Las Vegas for a convention. And I'm going to give everybody one of these certificates and they can all stay in the hotel for free. That won't work. I mean, the hotels, their bread and butter is group travel. So they don't allow group travel for these certificates. These are promotional travel certificates for one family at a time, essentially. So can't bundle a bunch of people up together. What else is the restriction? Got to have one person over 21 years of age minimum to be able to check in. So they're not looking for 18-year-olds to trash the hotel and not spend any money. And they do need to travel at least 100 miles or 160 kilometers. They can't use it locally. So if you live in Kyoto, you can't use the Kyoto getaway and stay at a hotel in your backyard. If you live in Orlando, you can't use a hotel in Orlando. They want people to be traveling at least 160 kilometers so that, they might hopefully spend some money at the restaurant, bar, casino, gift shop. They've learned that
Marco,
the
you're
local.
American, right? You're in the
Yes, I
US,
am.
right?
Yes.
You quoted kilometers here. That's not normal. All Americans are going by miles, and I'm like, wait a sec, are you Canadian?
Yeah, no. Well, I usually say miles, but I know that you're sitting over there in
Very
Japan, so I
clever.
figured let
Yeah,
me
I was
let me refer to
impressed.
kilometers here.
Very impressed. Uh, okay, Marco, I this is super interesting, and I'll probably sign up myself and test it out, see how it works. Let me ask you about how are you promoting and marketing this? Because it took a good 15 minutes for me to understand enough of this to for you to educate me to the point where it seems like a no-brainer. And I think that a lot of businesses have this problem where it takes too much time to educate the prospect so that they see that there's nothing to lose, or like it's just a very big upside to getting into something. How are you communicating this and taking on new clients right now? How's that working out?
That's a good point because we do struggle with that because we run Facebook ads, YouTube ads. But the amazing thing is we focused originally when we launched this business, we focused originally on marketing to and acquiring affiliate marketers first. So we went after on purpose signing up as thousands of affiliate marketers and selling the affiliate marketer on the ability for them to earn a commission promoting our product. And to this day, I mean, we went several years, Ken, without having to even spend any advertising money and growing 30-40% month over month, strictly by having thousands of affiliate marketers telling the story for us. But to do that, we had to create a lot of video training, webinars. We had to have all of the creatives and the graphics and everything so that make it easy for the affiliate to tell the story. And to this day, we now are, we have affiliates, of course, still, but we're also doing our own ad campaigns, and we drive. Part of the way we do that is we drive people to long form sales funnel pages that explain what we do. Uh, those pages include videos that have to kind of explain the process because our product does sound too good to be true, and it does make you think there must be some catch to this. And by the way, there is no timeshare, tours that need to be taken. There's no sales presentations, no hoops to jump through for your clients to use
I got roped into
the
a couple
travel.
of those 90-minute timeshare presentations. I'm like, what? And you cannot get out of that room, man. They're just like, yeah, you can leave, but then here's the bill you're gonna pay. And you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
If you even look down at your phone, you get the the what do you call it, the dirty look, like.
Yeah, the most expensive free gift you got was to take that timeshare tour. But anyway, no, they we don't have any of that involved. So yeah, we drive people, and then part of our strategy, Ken, is we drive people to join our Facebook group where we can nurture them in our Facebook group with content and with the and now they're in a community where they see 30,000 other entrepreneurs that are using then posting about how they're using the incentives and what they've done. And you can do a search in there. Well, I'm in the real estate business. What's how are realtors using these incentives? And then they'll see posts from other realtors or insurance agents or what have you. And so that's one of our strategies, is to get them into our Facebook group where we have the ability to to nurture them into understanding and realizing that they're not going to be the first ones to jump in the pool and use these incentives. And so, and video content, video,
Video
we get them to,
testimonials,
as part of the
they're
process.
huge.
Yeah.
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 Tell me, how long have you been in this business? How many years?
We launched in 2017. So,
Okay.
beginning of 2017. So we're what, 6 years, going on 7 years in.
And what was your previous business experience before doing this?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. Started out in the restaurant business. By age 23, I owned 5 restaurants and a nightclub. And then I moved to Florida, and I got into sales of all kinds. I was in the timeshare industry in sales, really got good at that, in marketing for the timeshare resorts around the world. I got involved in internet marketing back in 1996. By, very early adapter in internet marketing before Facebook and Google even. I was doing, email mass marketing and pay-per-click ads back when it was Overture and what have you. So I've generated over $1 billion in sales online prior to getting into this business on our own. So I've had a little bit of experience in getting people to take action and purchase. And back then, in the early days, nobody bought on the internet. Actually, I say $1 billion in online sales, but it was really driven most of it was driven in the early days over the telephone. People wouldn't buy on the line. We had big call centers. I had huge call centers with over 2,000 telemarketers that I was feeding the leads to, and the inbound calls and outbound telemarketing. And, they would call in to ask about it, and they'd buy over the phone. Today, nobody wants to speak to you on the phone, right? They want to read reviews. They want to go see what they want, click, and they want to buy, make it easy.
I still remember, and I'm in Japan, mind you. I remember when it was such a big deal when Bill Clinton on live TV did an online purchase, and that was live broadcast all over the US, trying to stimulate the internet economy. And I think when I first saw that, I was like, wow, this is a real thing. People are actually going to pay money, with their, LCD screen and get goods and services. And I think this must have been like 96 or 97, but there was still a long lag before it actually, really, really took off. But the thing I'm trying to get to here is you said you owned, several restaurants at age 25 or 23, was it? And then been through multiple businesses. And then this, a lot of people are going to compare their, chapter 1 of entrepreneurship with your probably chapter 30 or so, right? Could you tell us some of the mistakes you made, especially in the marketing area, things that didn't pan out, and the lessons you learned from that?
Talk about mistakes here. Well, we've had plenty of them, that's for sure. And, let's say Facebook advertising alone, for example, with Book VIP, we invested over 10 years, nearly $70 million on Facebook ads alone. So we were very heavy advertisers on Facebook, and very successful for a decade. And the big mistake came when they made major changes, and the big mistake was not having diversified more, different alternatives to Facebook. We relied too much on it. Yeah, we did pay per click as well, but we weren't. At the end of the day, when SOS 14 and 15 and now 17, when they made their changes to their operating system on the Apple phones, and eliminated the new privacy policies, it eliminated Facebook's ability as an advertiser to be able to target audiences like we used to. And overnight, ad campaigns were not working. And the mistake we made, we kept trying and spending nearly the same amounts trying to figure it out without pulling back. And in the end, learning quickly or learning over a period of time, this is not working. And we weren't the only one. We knew many other advertisers that were spending over $100,000 a day in Facebook ads at the time. And then overnight, it's not working. And now you keep throwing money at it, trying to make changes, try this, try that. And so the mistake, it caught up to us. Before you know it, we're in big debt to Facebook. And we got a huge call center staff in the Philippines, and the sales are not coming in anymore. And we're not firing staff. We're not wanting to let go of staff because we've invested years in training, and we have relationships with all of our teams. And cash flow can catch up to you quite quickly if you don't make decisions fast enough. So in the end, I mean, we saved the bit. Almost could have lost the business, but um, because of cash flow issues, when you start realizing, whoa, we got high 100,000 a week payroll, we got huge amounts of Facebook ads, and we should have been more nimble to cut back on the staff faster, to reduce the size of the call center, and reduce that ad spend on Facebook. And better, smarter would have been to have not put all of our eggs in one basket, because it was, just because it was working. It's kind of a twofold thing in marketing. When you find, if you find a marketing opportunity and you throw $5 at it and you pull $20 out, I mean, you're like printing money, right? So now what do you want to just throw all the money you can at it? The more you keep throwing it, and you want to keep, as long as you can keep throwing money in the ad campaign and it's producing profits on the back end, then you want to keep going and throw more and more
Scale as
money at
fast
it
as you can.
as
Yeah,
fast as
just
you
keep
can.
scaling.
Put as much money as you can in it. But you also need to be willing to realize when, like in the casino, if you're winning, you keep on playing. But when that luck changes, it's time to walk away with your winnings, not keep throwing money, not keep gambling until you run out.
Yeah.
So we didn't diversify enough in our ad strategies outside of Facebook, and we did not move quick enough to reduce staff, for example, which is the most painful part, because you make emotional ties with staff, and you have relationships with your staff. I mean, it's easy to cut Facebook off, but payroll is expensive, and yet you need it. You need your staff. You've invested in your staff, but when the S hits the fan, you better be willing, need to move quickly, which is painful, but if you have to cut, you have to cut to survive and fight another day.
Mhm. I know some of my friends who are entrepreneurs who have a very, mathematical approach to staff. And, they have a number, like they need to, like, I need to be making X amount of revenue, which is the X multiple per the salary of the person. And if ever drops below, then there's no emotion attached to the decision. But I struggle with that too. I don't think I could just make a mathematical decision with people who've been with me for years. And it's always been, I don't know if it's hurting the business, because there's also the bigger picture, which is, well, if I keep making emotional decisions, the whole company might tank and everybody lose their job, which is a bigger loss. And, as business owners, I think that this sounds like a really, first world problem, but I think we're underappreciated for the tough decisions we have to make almost on a weekly basis about this. And just to make sure that, you know, Bobby gets to get his full paycheck, even though you're losing money on it.
Yeah.
So
And how
it's
often do we
tricky.
do that? How often have we done that as entrepreneurs? You are paying
Yeah,
your
I pay out of
staff
my own
often.
pocket.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't take
paying
money
people
home
that you didn't
when it
take a
gets tight.
dollar home, but
Yeah.
you didn't sleep that, for maybe even lost sleep that week, because you've got
Hmm.
payroll to make on Friday, and the sales aren't coming in.
Yeah.
But you're going
Hmm.
to make the payroll anyway, and you're going to hope and then of course now you've got that extra stress, right? I've got to find a new way to generate the sales in order to keep the cash flow coming in, and so on. So one of the things to do about that is, as you build a successful business too, is build a credit line, build a relationship with your banker. When things are going good, that's when you want to go have, build reserves, cash reserves, have a relationship with the bankers, try to get a credit line set up in advance when things are running smooth. So, and you don't think you need it when things are rolling good, and you're it's like when you're winning in that casino, you're winning, or you're selling, you're making your ad campaigns are working. Uh, sure, you're maybe putting some cash reserves away and what have you, but too many mistakes that many make is you also spend it. You start spending the business. Business owners starts living the lifestyle, and which is obviously can be a big mistake because you need to have plenty of reserves, and if you can go get a credit line established so that if you do come into a cycle that most businesses eventually do, or your seasonalities, that you have the ability to survive a bad season and come back on the other side still swinging.
One of the things I asked you and everybody that comes on the show is I want to make sure that everybody who's here is actually making at least $1 million a year, because the kind of advice that you hear from somebody who's doing something that's profitable now versus somebody who read a cool book and can regurgitate a lot of clever sounding advice, it's just different. And I want my listeners, everybody who's on the podcast or YouTube, to know that this is solid advice from real experience. Would you be willing to share a few of your numbers, like what's your monthly, yearly cash flow with your businesses?
Yeah, with Marketing Boost, we probably have about $500,000 a month in recurring revenue from subscribers, and we've got on the back end of fulfilling the travel is about 5 to 7 times that. So it's several 4 or 5 million on the back end of the fulfillment travel monthly, and that's Marketing Boost. And then Book VIP is one of the other travel websites we still operate, and we also have another one called Booksy, and we have Trips Pass. So we're we do quite a bit of revenue, uh, in the millions monthly, and have big staff around the globe. We have staff in the Philippines, and we have our IT staff in India. We have our some of our management in Australia and the U.S. And
You're
so
very
it's
decentralized then, aren't you?
yeah, we really are. We used to have a big office in Miami, a big 10,000 square foot office, and a whole bunch of people in one. Today, it's pretty much all virtual, other than the call centers in the Philippines that they do have to come into a facility, but everybody else is all virtual. Kind of, we started doing that way before COVID, even because realized that we were, I guess, ahead of the curve with the idea of not having a big office anymore. Um, when we realized it was too painful to hire people in the U.S. I loved having American staff. I used to believe I'm only going to hire American, but eventually it was as we hired people overseas, and the work ethic was so much better than American employees, and the issues that came with it. We found it was, for us anyway, it was a lot better to outsource teams all over the world.
At the scale of business you're at right now, which is quite impressive for I think a lot of people who might be in their first 5 years or so. How do you reconcile the time you invest in doing things like getting on this podcast or creating content in other areas? Do you look at like the hourly value, or is it like the potential reach, or is it networking? Kind of walk me through your thought process on that.
Yeah, it was a goal I made in 2022 to look at podcasting as another way to get the story out without paid advertising. And I set out to be interviewed on 100 shows in 2022, and I think I was invited on about 120 different shows, and I did the same for 2023, and I'm on a similar path for 2024.
So going.
So yeah, it's a way to, and I recommend it for any other business. If you've got something unique, if you've got a story to tell, if you're the expert authority, then do your best to get invited on podcast shows as a way to tell the story of your business, put a face, but let people see a face to the founders of the business, and it's been a very successful part of our marketing strategy, and it's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy helping the entrepreneur All the businesses I own, this is the one I enjoy and have the most fun with, because it's kind of like I get that opportunity to reach down and help others climb the ladder as I help other entrepreneurs see successes. And I know how lonely and difficult the journey of being an entrepreneur can be. And it's kind of fun to create the community and encourage others to see that success, because I truly believe the world's a better place the more entrepreneurs are chasing their dream and building their own success story.
I believe that 100%. Last question, and we've got to wrap this up soon. How are you currently or planning to in the future integrate AI into your businesses?
Great question. We're actually launching another whole series of products here soon. Marketing Boost is one of the products we offer, and then we do have software upsells that we offer to support our business community and give them the tools they need to build and grow their business. One of them is called automationbooster.com, where we're provide the full CRM system, and we're launching our own product here soon called My Sales Genie, which is going to be a, a series of chat bots that use artificial intelligence to help you fill your calendar bookings with the incentives built in. So the chat bot will help you book your calendar from your website or what have you, to book your uh, book appointments, fill your calendar, and use our incentives as part of the draw card to go ahead and get people to book on your calendar. That's part of it. We're going to have a whole bunch of other artificial intelligence tools. And the other product I'm launching is a language translating service using artificial intelligence, obviously, that will, with one line of code, and we're very soon have this ready to launch. With one simple line of code added to your website, you'll be able to translate your site into up to 200 languages, and including the chat platform in multi-language, so that you can reach a larger audience uh, with just by changing, offering more languages.
That's great. All right, we've got to wrap this up, and we will definitely be having another conversation later, you and me, to explore if that's actually something that might make sense for my business, because it sounds too good to be true. And I guess the best way to find out is just try it. Uh, are there any links you could share where our listeners or viewers can check out anything that you want to offer?
Yeah, I would ask everyone to go to marketingboost.com, or marketingboostsolutions.com. On the Marketing Boost Solutions, we have our own podcast where I interview business experts as well and provide content to our community. So Marketing Boost Solutions for the podcast, marketingboost.com, and you can sign up for a free account, free trial. So there's even one version you can do. It's limited, but you can sign up with no credit card required and give it a shot.
And if they click the link that I specifically put below this YouTube video, is there any advantage to that?
Yeah, that's the link they're going to get with that down there, is the ability to sign up with no credit card required and give it a shot.
Okay, great. So, guys, we're going to put the links down below. If you're listening on the podcast, check out the show notes. And if you're on YouTube, then go down to the description. We put everything down there. Other than that, we've got to wrap this up. But for me, I think my biggest takeaway, Marco, is that I think it seems like with the various businesses you've been through, I think a lot of entrepreneurs limit themselves and put themselves into like one category. Like, I'm a marketer, or I'm a therapist, I'm a lawyer. But you seem to have the mindset that when there's an opportunity and you could offer a solution, that's the recipe for a business, and you go play with that and see if it works. So my takeaway is, like, don't get stuck in a box. Test, try, and if it works, then spam the heck out of that one strategy and milk it for everything it's worth until it doesn't. Right? Is that kind of how you operate?
That's exactly how we operate. Yeah,
I love that.
Drive it until it quits working, and then maybe move on if you need to.
Yes. Or just be driving. Have a second vehicle, being built in the garage, so that if and when vehicle one breaks down, then you hop on vehicle two and keep going.
Right. Yeah, I've had my world, I have had to reinvent myself in my career multiple times throughout the years.
I also noticed that you're a grandfather. Is that right?
I am recently a grandfather. I have a a granddaughter, a year old, and I've got another one coming probably in about a week. So I'm looking forward to having my second grandchild in the next few days. She's due on the 3rd of March. So I don't know when you go live with this recording, but anyway, by the time it's published, I should be a grandfather a second time.
Congratulations on that. Any plans to slow down, retire, sell off the businesses?
No, not at all. I probably should do that, but I enjoy working, and the only thing I intend to do more of is even more travel. I travel a lot. I've been around the world with what I do, but I do plan on traveling more and spending more time on the boat. But the businesses will keep going, and my job has been to duplicate myself so that I don't have to work in the business anymore, and I can work on it from above. And one of the ways I work on it is to do what I think is fun, which is being on these podcasts and telling the story and getting the word out about Marketing Boost. And then I intend to travel so I can keep working the hotel resort relationships and so on. So I like the fun part of the business.
Sounds like fun. All right, guys, that's the pod, and I will see you next week.
No hustle worship here, we're a different breed. Action is what we got if action is what you need. Content capitalists, we're breaking the mold. Cause the old ways fading, new stories to be told. So content capitalists, get to the prize.